Do you think we don't need religion anymore? What about the comfort religion provides? And what about more moral discipline? No, we don't need religion. The comfort that the religion provides can be better supplied through non-religious means in a much less harmful way, that is more based on modern understanding of human psychology and societal needs. So anything that religion offers as a positive, for you to be able to claim that we need religion for that, you would have to show why we cannot be able to provide that to people without religion. And I think nobody has ever managed to show why any comfort that people get from religion is not, we are not able to provide that through other means, through less harmful means. Moral discipline is the most, I'm trying to be not rude. From all the things that people claim that religion provides as a service, as a positive, moral discipline is the most ridiculous one, okay? We're talking about a moral discipline that is based on divine command theory of moral standards, to come up with moral standards, which when it comes to every single method that has been ever suggested as a way to decide what's moral and what's not moral, the most horrific, the most harmful, the most ridiculous one has been what religion has suggested as a moral theory, which is divine command theory. And again, I have to remind you once again that moral discipline was not something that humans were lacking before Abrahamic religions decided to mix morality with their religion. You know, religion, if you went back as far as Greek philosophers, you could see that the philosophy of ethics and morality was independently analyzed from the religion. It was Abrahamic religions that mostly made religion's business to decide what is moral and what is not. Again, I'm not saying it didn't exist in religion before. It did. In fact, it was the Greeks who suggested that that moral, the divine command theory is one of the worst ways of coming out with what is moral and what is not. But the idea of religion suggesting to us of what is good and what is not, and not having any alternatives without religion, is a ridiculous claim. If anybody looks at the history of moral philosophy throughout history and how it existed independently from religion in many situations, and it existed in much more nuanced and advanced and more sophisticated ways, and suggestions existed that it had nothing to do with religion. So this idea that you need religion for moral discipline is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the idea that divine command theory is a good way to come up with moral standards is so apparent that we don't have to refer to anything other than Abrahamic scripture itself when it comes to which this is all Abrahamic religions. What they share is Abraham, and Abraham's most famous story is him sacrificing his son, and considering that, like, look at the teaching that it's a moral good for you to sacrifice, to kill your own son because God said so. The very definition of what is good and bad is what God says is good, and what God says is bad, and there's no other calculations that you need to make. And they don't make it the religion doesn't make it any more clear about how black and white this is than the story of Abraham sacrificing, a father killing his own child and making that a moral good just because God said so. I myself am a utilitarian when it comes to decide, to the moral discipline that I adhere to when it comes to decide what's right and wrong. And imagine how much more superior that is when it comes to deciding what's good and what's bad based on the effect that it has on the society and the happiness of people and reducing misery, how much more superior that is than the suggestion of by religions that what is good is what God says so, regardless of the consequences. Regardless of the consequences. How horrible of a suggestion that is. It's a worse moral philosophy. I challenge you to come up with any moral philosophy, any other suggestion of what is good and bad, worse than what religion has offered as moral discipline. I can't think of any.
Hey guys, if you want to join these streams live, get your comments and questions read by Ali and Armin and the guests, and most importantly, to get full access to the full video versions of all these episodes, become a patron. Link in the description below.